crack. Okay. All right. So let's get into our listener feed crack section. Now calling it that because it's what it is to me. I need not feed me crack. Nom nom nom. I'm hungry.
Num num. Evelyn Marie Morris. Num num.
Feed me the feed crack. I love it. I love listener feedback. Truly, if you have been listening and you've never written in and you've never left a voice message, be brave. Do it. Oh, please do it. We love it. More, please. I know we're going to get more as the season goes on, but I am, I'm not a patient one, so I want it now. I want to know what you guys think. If you have theories, I know you do. It's a murder mystery, darn it. Like, come on, tell us. Tell us what you think.
I agree.
Okay, so the first email we got is from Kaylee, and she says, "Hi girls, I've been listening to your Only Murders podcast, and I think you really need to reframe Paul Rudd's character in your minds. Personally, I love Paul Rudd. I find him endearing in Ant-Man and in real life, but his character in Only Murders is not Paul Rudd. Indeed, he's nothing like him. Jade, in particular, spent a long time ranting about Paul Rudd and how unfunny she finds him, with his line, 'Who farted?' facing particular disdain. But here's the thing, we're not meant to find it funny. Ben's an awkward character, and the only reason other characters laugh at this line is that he has star power, meaning he has power over them. He's not a funny guy, and if it wasn't for his fame, people wouldn't laugh at him. Or people would laugh at him, not with him. Likewise, he's a bad actor in a leading role, and he's there because of who he knows, not what he knows, and he knows that all too well. Hence his insecurities. He's a classic bully people first to protect yourself from being bullied kind of character. One who fears that if he's not the center of attention at all times, then he will be entirely forgotten and irrelevant. It's a testament to Oliver's directing chops and his empathy, ironically, since he says he calls himself a self-pronounced narcissist, that he's able to draw Ben's true voice out through his layers of hurt and defense. True. All this to say, I think there are depths you may have overlooked in your haste to dismiss Paul Rudd entirely. Kaylee. Well, Kaylee, I will say thank you so much for writing this because although, Kara, I know that you echoed a lot of this in our last podcast, and that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But this is the thing. I think I am very loud about my opinions when I really feel something strongly. And I have a way of like shouting down people. I'm like, no, but mine more though. Like my thought is going to take no. I really think sometimes you got to yell at me, Kara. Sometimes you got to insist things.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I said pretty much all of this.
Yeah. But I was louder, and I apologize. I did kind of talk out of my ass with some unqualified, not backed up comments. I'm going to try not to do that anymore. And I was going more on like a gut feeling rather than being able to back up my thoughts. But I think everything that you're saying here, Kaylee, is incredibly true. You're absolutely right. We are not meant to like Ben. He's unlikable. Everyone, like you said, is kowtowing to him because he holds all the cards. He's got the fame, and he didn't earn it, and that's why he's a jerk because he's got all this insecurity, knowing that he doesn't actually he talks the talk, or what is it? He can walk the walk, but he doesn't actually talk the talk. He doesn't have the actor, the real artistic.
Chops.
Yeah, he does. It's not in him, and he knows it. He's kind of a phony. I think. Yeah, it hurts really bad when someone calls you a bad name and it's a name that you already associate in your own mind, like, I think I might be this. And then when someone says it, it hurts because you know it's true a little. Things always hurt worse when we know that they're founded in fact. So, all right, what I did last time, and I also wanted to say, I absolutely know that you're incredibly 100% right. Paul Rudd is an amazing human being in real life. Everyone who works with the guy says how wonderful he is. And I just want that to be heard because in no way am I like slamming Paul Rudd or anything or calling him a bad actor. I don't think so. He's just not my taste. This is really a taste thing more than anything. It's just Will Ferrell,
and you
Paul
said
Rudd.
That. And last time you acknowledged that you knew that they were trying to make him unlikable and unfunny. It still just didn't land for you.
Yes. It felt to me like it was inauthentic. And like Will Ferrell's acting, for example, it just is more distracting than funny to me. It's not my kind of humor. It's like, watch me play a dumb character. I don't know things and I'm supposed to be kind of stupid. And like, you know, Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd do that thing where they're like, it's like Will Ferrell in the Barbie movie. He's running around as this Mattel head of the company, but he's just as stupid as a child, you know, like these big children characters Will Ferrell plays. You know what I mean?
I will say that Will Ferrell in the Barbie movie was one of the times that I personally found him to be more enjoyable.
See,
it was so silly.
Did not hit for me at all. Did not land.
I've never seen Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell as similar, but after last time, I was talking to one of my coworkers about it, and they said pretty much the exact same thing. So you're not alone. I'll tell you that, but I just hadn't seen it. And so I think that's why I think it's so interesting to hear from different people and how different things land for them, because I was sitting there, I was like, look at Paul Rudd being so funny and douchey, this is great, and you were having like the exact opposite experience.
Yeah, just it's like SNL for me. You know, I don't really watch SNL depending on who's hosting and everything, but those surface level bits, that like surface level humor, that comedy for me, it just gets exhausted very quickly for me. It's like a one trick that just keeps tricking over and over, and if you don't love the trick, if it's not your kind of humor, it's gonna be it's gonna border onto annoying and grating, kind of, you know, because I don't have like an attachment to Paul Rudd like a lot of people do. He's not like nostalgic for me particularly. I have not watched all of his films. I haven't watched his performance in Ant-Man, like his big highly acclaimed performances, I haven't even seen. All I can really judge by is his better performance, in my opinion, which was Clueless, where he wasn't he wasn't trying to be funny. He wasn't trying to be stupid or silly. He was just himself, and I loved it. I think that another good moment when he's just himself, and it really comes through, is in his dressing room with Charles, when he's saying, I could fire you, but I'm just going to let you suffer because I really want to get back at you. That was a great acting moment for Paul Rudd. Definitely. That was great. I have a couple of moments that are not great for me, but now that we've podcasted, I'm revisiting a line like Stinkeroonie. That line bothered me because I'm like, he's acting like he's being stupid. Like, he's not. It's coming off as disingenuous because it looks like bad acting to me. But I think, now that we're talking about it, he wanted to get Loretta fired because he knew that she knew something about him. He was feeling threatened by Loretta. So when he said, she's a Stinkeroonie, it comes off as disingenuous because it's supposed to be. So I think, Kaylee, in your email, a lot of what you said needed to be echoed in my mind, because my biggest problem with his whole performance is this fake apology we get at the party. So let's watch it. Yeah. Let's watch it really quickly.
Okay. Who farted?
Watch him closely. Watch his performance.
Mama's back, bitches. That's right. I'm alive.
How could you?
What the fuck?
I was dead, dude, for like an hour. They said it was like a record in their hospital. Right, Dickie?
Oh, they didn't say anything like that.
They pumped my stomach. I barfed up a ton. I don't know. They said maybe it was something I ate.
But you had blood in your mouth.
Yeah, well, I bit the fuck out of my tongue when I fell. I don't feel it now, though. Oh, sorry. The nurses, oh my God, they were so freaked out. The doctors were like, do not go anywhere. But I had to get back to see you guys.
Okay, I don't believe him here. His acting doesn't... I believe that I'm watching someone act a character. This is it distracted me, right? When I first watched it, I took it to be just Paul Rudd is doing some bad acting, and I don't get it. Now, on second, after we podcasted and after I've really thought about it and read Kaylee's email, I'm thinking to myself, we're not supposed to like him. He is an asshole. So maybe this whole thing I'm criticizing, I'm like, why is he being so over the top? I I had to get back to see you guys, my cast, because we're all friends, right? So, okay, so it doesn't strike me that Ben would think to himself that I've made such good friendships with people in the cast and that they would be, that I have to get back to my cast because we're all so close and we're bonded and we're friends, right? Like, he has issues with Charles. He has issues clearly with Loretta, who he's
Everyone, but
yeah.
I saw it as he was not being genuine at all. Like, he was just like, one of you fuckers tried to kill me. Like, I saw it as him being sarcastic.
Okay, all right. So let me keep
full of shit.
Let's keep watching this,
Okay.
this next little bit.
Cast, I just.
Mabel starts recording.
Recording.
Yeah, these fake tears.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Shit! I did not expect to get emotional. But when I was dead, guys, I saw the light. That light. Yes, the dead person light.
The dead
I saw
person
it.
light.
And I saw all the shit that I pulled with all of you for these last few months. And I thought, I can't die like this. And so I'm back, and I'm gonna be so much better. And we are going to kick ass with this show. You hear me, Oliver?
See, it pulls me back around then at the end there when he's like, we're going to kick ass. We're going to do this. This show is going to be great. I'm sorry. Like, that's when I'm like, no, he is being genuine. I just can't tell with this performance. And I was writing it off as Paul Rudd's bad acting. I truly do think, especially after reading Kaylee's email and really letting it sink in, I think I will be proven wrong, or I'll be proven like there's a reason that Paul Rudd is doing this bad acting on purpose, you know?
Well, and he also, you know, clearly left against medical advice, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And that while you were replaying that, I remembered something that I hadn't thought about before, because he comes in and talks about, you know, while I was dead and they pumped my stomach and blah, blah, blah. I want to know when they pumped his stomach. Like, how did they figure out he was dead? Because Dickie, walking alongside him on the stretcher as they're carrying him out of the theater in the first episode, says, like, loudly to where we clearly hear him, like, they pronounced him.
I forgot to mention that.
Like,
I forgot to mention that.
You know?
He doesn't say they pronounced him dead. He says they pronounced him, but he never says dead. So that gives me another reason why.
Dead. He says it as if he's responding to someone on the phone. Like, so that means dead. And I was like, so when the hell did they pump his stomach? Like, when did they figure out that he was dead? If he was pronounced dead, like, when did he all of a sudden...
Well, you don't pump a dead man's stomach, so yeah.
That's the thing. So I was like, so how long was he at the hospital? Like, it didn't seem like he was at the hospital... I don't know. Like, I just want to know more of what happened at the hospital. But when he was talking, I assumed, one, he was under the influence of, you know, painkillers, whatever they hooked him up to at the hospital, which is another reason why I like, even though I don't think it's true, that theory that he just, like, fell down the elevator shaft because he was still, like, so out of it. I'm like, it's not the worst theory. But I don't know. Like, I saw it as him kind of being full of shit and being a dick. Like, he might think he's having this epiphany, but at the same time, he's also going around telling everyone why they had a motive to kill him. For the most part.
Yeah, I apologize for being hard on Paul Rudd. I really do, because it's not him that I'm upset at, I don't think. I do honestly think that the writing is a little... I feel that the obnoxiousness of Ben is clouding my judgment here, the way that he's written, because it doesn't support the believability of the other character. It almost undermines the intelligence of characters that I hold in, like, a specific regard. Like, Mabel is very intelligent, very street smart, very aware of people in my mind. So the fact that when he comes in, who farted, and starts hitting on Kimber, it makes me feel like Mabel is stupid. The way that she's just like, isn't he great? I'm like, why does everyone... the way that everyone lets him be such an obnoxious man-child. It's the way that I felt about Gordon Ford. It's tricky writing these asshole characters. Listeners, if you don't know, Gordon Ford was on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We podcasted about that, and I really had an issue with Gordon Ford. But mostly my issue wasn't Reed Scott's acting. It boiled down to the way he was written, and me having a tough time believing Midge would respond the way that she does, or that people in his office would act the way that they do around him. Like, it feels like if someone was really this big of a maniac of an asshole and a just total man-child, like, just gross human, it's hard for me to suspend my disbelief, which is usually not a problem on this show. Everything is over the top. Everything is ridiculous, but I've never been annoyed by a character on this show ever before. Cinda Canning, Jan, Krebs, Poppy, Nathan
Amy
Lane.
Schumer annoyed me.
Oh, see, I thought she was hilarious. My taste in humor is just different. I thought Amy Schumer was hilarious, and I don't usually like Amy Schumer, but I thought she was hilarious in this.
Yeah.
So, like, they always struck the perfect balance in the past, and with Paul Rudd, I feel that it's not hitting for me. And it could just be, it's not my humor. I think that's it.
There are certain examples that I can think, like a few people that I can think of that are big stars that are notoriously assholes that have kind of had their bubble burst. You think of, Ellen DeGeneres, the stuff that's come out about
the first person I thought of.
Yeah, like how likable she was. And, you've heard things about James Corden and all sorts of other people that, who knows what is actually true. But I bought Mabel's forgiveness of him once we saw her nostalgia connection to him and her dad. But I don't know, like, I would think that everybody else would find him incredibly obnoxious, which is why I also think everybody had a motive to kill him.
Yeah.
That none of them really liked him. And why would they? Like, we see immediately that he's not exactly a sympathetic or likable
Well, but that's the thing.
character.
There's those moments where he talks with Charles and about his, what you did to me when I was a child, when he's with Mabel and he talks about his being a late bloomer, when he's with Oliver and he talks about being a phony in that scene with Oliver. Here, I'll play it.
Come on, Ben. I can feel you holding back. Just go for it.
Sorry, but this whole falling, heartbeat, it sounds weird, right? Could we lose it?
See, this feels very acty to me. I'm watching an actor. I'm very aware of it. And I'm not usually taken out of this show for that reason.
Well, I think I can see it because when I see it, I don't see it as Paul Rudd being actory or a bad actor. I see it as the character of Ben putting on a front and acting.
I think it's entirely possible that I'm conflating the two, and I should shut up and wait for what's about to be revealed. I could be jumping the gun.
Because he's not being genuine.
No.
Like, he's definitely not.
Yeah, here, wait.
No. Just say it how you would say it.
When you're falling, when you're falling, when you're falling,
What's the matter?
I mean, come on, don't you hear it? It sounds so fucking phony.
Oh, phony, don't say that. Don't say phony.
I hate my voice.
Well, I hate to shock you. All you have is your voice. You're only a phony if you don't use it. What's scaring you?
I was Girl Cop. I was Cobra. What if I can't just be me? What if I need a ridiculous premise just to be any good?
Okay, there's a thought that just popped into my mind, though. Did you notice how shaky the camera was here? I feel like it's not typical for this show. It just stood out to me. I wonder if this is Paul Rudd acting for the not Paul. It's Paul Rudd acting Ben, acting for the documentary. That's why he's coming off disingenuous, because this does not feel genuine to me. And
he's putting on some sort of show or facade.
Yes. So
I can see it.
I apologize for talking out of my ass too soon and saying that this is Paul Rudd's bad acting, or like he's acting as a bad actor badly, because I think that I could be wrong. I do. I think that maybe it's a clue.
I do think it's going to be revealed at some point. Footage that we have already seen is going to be actually documentary footage that Robert with a T has shown. I also just want to see more Robert with a T. Just in general.
Okay, so that's our only email. Please send us emails. Kaylee, thank you so much for bringing up my very hasty dismissal of Paul Rudd, and I apologize, and I won't do it again. I promise to take more time to back up what I say about actors or the script from now on. I'm going to, because, no one likes, I felt it when I was talking about it last time. I felt like, maybe you should ponder on this theory, Jade, before you go mouthing off about it. All right. So the next thing we have is a voice message from our fourth co-host, as I call her, our new Patreon member, Melanie Brown. Melanie, we love you, babe. Thank you so much for sending us this message.
Hi, ladies. It's Melanie. I'm calling in with feedback for Only Murders in the Building. Yay, it's back. Glad to have you ladies back in my podcast feed on a regular basis. It's been a little bit, and I've missed you.
Oh, we missed you too.
So, before I get into specific feedback, I just wanted to say that, part of the reason why I was so excited that we're doing Only Murders in the Building is because the show is Steve Martin and Martin Short are people that I grew up watching with my parents, and we never watched this show specifically together, but I lost them. It'll be almost 2 years ago this fall, and it's been a little bit hard for me to just adapt to being a parentless middle-aged girl. And so that's been a little challenging at times. So seeing them on my screen and just having them kind of brings me back to memories I had of watching Parenthood or watching Father of the Bride. And just my mom recorded the King Tut SNL sketch when I was little. And whenever I was upset or having a bad day, she would always put it on. It always made me laugh, and I would dance around when I was little to King Tut. So I don't know, just a little random feedback there that has nothing to do with these specific episodes, but it just this show is so special and I love it. So as far as Only Murders goes, I just wanted to shout out to whoever is the costume designer on the show, because Selena Gomez is looking hot. I've always loved her style on the show, but just the sweaters this season,
I did not talk about Meryl Streep's hotness enough in the first time we recorded, and I did not talk about Mabel's. I love her fashion. I'm loving the chunky sweaters. I love the chunky sweater.
Are on point.
So good.
Those are some very nice. Her and Howard's. Although Howard's I enjoy for different reasons.
Yeah.
Not as pretty.
Yeah, Mabel looks gorgeous this season.
Sequin number and the jazz sequence was just gorgeous.
Yes, gorgeous.
I just love it. I love the whole boho chic thing going on with Mabel. And yeah, I think Paul Rudd is really good at being a bad actor.
Okay, I'm telling you, people's tastes. It's wild how different they can be, It's funny.
I know that's
because Steve Carell is not for everyone. I know a lot of people hate Michael Scott. I find it endlessly funny. Yeah. So funny to
me. My mother.
Yeah. Some people can't stand it, so I get it.
Hey, I don't know, maybe Jay could shed some light on this, but it's I know that that's pretty hard to do, actually, is to be a bad actor.
Yeah.
Be convincingly a bad actor. Pretending to be a bad actor when you're not a bad actor is pretty good.
Yeah. And the example I always give for this is Rue McClanahan on The Golden Girls when she does her little number at the Rusty Anchor.
I love that.
It's so good, and it just takes such skill to perform as someone who's not wanting to perform badly. They want to perform great and they just suck. It's really difficult to bomb on purpose,
I just really enjoy that, though. I was so confused in that one scene where he was supposed to be playing some sort of high schooler or something, and I'm okay. So I'm he looked like they totally tried to make him look younger, but he still looked like he was in his 30s, and I was just really confused by that. So but whoever decided to put gross yellow streaks in his hair, yeah, I guess that was right on. I'm not sure what decade was that supposed to be. Was it old when Mabel was watching it when she was little.
Totally 90s.
Totally 90s.
I'm still very confused by that.
Totally.
I felt like it was the 80s, but I'm
No.
not.
Well, but Mabel wasn't alive in the 80s.
No, guys, that was so 90s. Did you not see that girl and how she was dressed with her little hair clips and her, like, you know how the early 2000s was
and
like.
The music was very
Oh, yeah.
much so. Oh, my alarm just went off. We'll ignore that. But yeah, very much so 90s sitcom.
Yeah.
She might have been watching reruns, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They didn't make it 100% clear.
No, it was
I'm not-
I don't.
90s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
I mean, it was early 2000s.
Maybe it was reruns. But I don't know. Whatever. It was funny. Yeah, I think everything is really. Speaking of pretending to be a bad actress, Meryl Streep was pretty good at that. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying this show so far. I kind of don't like it when our group isn't working together. So
Yes.
I'm happy to see that the trio is reforming.
Not alone.
At the end, because they seemed pretty separated at various parts. So that was nice to see at the end, and I was really excited to see Oliver's son on in the show for just if it was just for a very small scene with his dad.
And of course, the dance scene.
The dance. Oh my God! Yes, he did the dancing. Yes, it's pretty good actually. It was pretty hot. I love seeing his son. I have a crush on his son. I think that actor is gorgeous.
I forget his name. He was a baseball player.
I really just enjoy.
Was he really?
The realistic and complicated.
Yeah, the actor who plays Will was a professional baseball player for
Hold on.
maybe it wasn't a baseball player, he was a baseball player, I think for the Angels, and then he retired from baseball and he was on Broadway in Take Me Out.
Okay, now I have to look.
I thought I told Erica
know this?
when you weren't there when we talked about this. Yeah.
I am obsessed with baseball.
The relationship that he has with Oliver, because it's a relationship that a lot of, I think, adult children can relate to, being frustrated with their parents, especially if you have parents who maybe aren't being as mature as even you are. And so it's like, you're still supposed to be the dad here, but I have to take care of you. And that's unfortunately a very relatable thing that a lot of people have. And I have a question. Do you remember if his son is married? He has kids, but is he still married? Have we ever seen his wife?
Yeah.
I don't believe we have.
Can we hook him up with Mabel?
Will and Mabel. Wow. I don't know if I would go for that. But yeah, Will's married. We just have never seen.
He's a little old.
Yeah, a little old for Mabel.
her.
I don't know why we've never seen Will's wife. I wonder if we ever will.
That's fair. I thought
Would
they
that
were
not be
divorced.
adorable?
No.
I'm telling you guys.
Oliver's divorced, not Will.
Assuming that the British girl is no longer a thing. I don't think she is, right? So I don't know.
Alice is gone.
Sorry, Michael's like sitting here responding every once in a while. We just did this together. So I told him I would ask who he thinks the murderer is. And who do you think, Michael?
I don't know. It could be. You said her name a minute ago.
Meryl?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't know her. I don't know the character's name at all.
Loretta.
I mean, she is interested in pursuing a relationship, which
With
cannot
Oliver.
happen while the play is actually happening.
Oh, I
Well,
didn't
Ben
even
out
think
of the
about
way.
that. And she hates Ben.
And she does hate men also.
Yeah.
With reason. I mean, it's a very reasonable hatred. The guy was, he's, well,
A bit of a dick. Yeah. Let's just be honest. But I mean, so is Charles, so is Oliver, so I don't know.
Yeah.
All these people are a bit of dicks, so I don't
It's true.
know.
It's kind of a show of dicks.
I really want to know how a theater critic got to be up in the
up in the
thing for a non-theater actor. He had never been on theater before, but she's out in the actual church. Now maybe all this is that they came 10 minutes late, clearly, because the mass had already started. But everyone from Death Rattle was was there apparently, except the producers.
They were all in Overflow 3.
I suppose she might have been in Overflow 2.
Oh yeah, they were in Overflow 3, which was apparently the basement of the church.
True, if there's a 2, there's got to be a 3.
You think he brought his popcorn? Did they have popcorn there?
Yeah,
He
I feel
totally
they
brought
did.
it.
He probably.
I was wondering if they had it
I'm
there.
going to go a little different. I think the understudy.
Jonathan.
And part of the reason why I think the understudy is that
Interesting.
we've had 2 women murderers. I do not know anything about the understudy. Do not know why I think it is the understudy. I didn't know that he had an understudy until the cast party. And I'm just putting it out there right now. I'm obsessed with the idea of Death Rattle. A killer baby. That's amazing. I don't know how the baby's killing anyone. Kind of the hand that rocks the cradle vibe. But only it's not the nanny this time.
Maybe it is, though.
I know.
Okay.
Kind of think it is.
Sorry. But I want to be a Death Rattle the musical. I'm obsessed with
Yes.
this, and I am auditioning for it. Someone needs to make this happen. I'm your girl. I will be whoever you want me to be. And I can
Same here.
kind of sing, so
Yeah.
we're on a good shape.
Kind of sing.
All right.
with you.
This is getting long, very long and goofy. I actually re-recorded this because it was too long before, and now it's 2 minutes longer than what it was before. So go figure. I can't help it. Bye.
That's funny.
Melanie, we love
my
you,
gosh.
babe. Oh my gosh. That is Melanie Brown. We know her very well from our Marvelous Mrs. Maisel podcast. Yes, thank you so much for always being there for us, Melanie, and for sticking with us through Only Murders in the Building. Anyone else out there, if you got your theories, if you got any thoughts you want to share, or if you want to tell Jade to shut up and stop talking about acting, you know, hey, it's all welcome. We love listen to FeedCRACK. I'm addicted. Give me more. Mama, I need the crack. Feed me.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, that will wrap it up for today. We're going to go get the hook. Somebody pull him off.
Oh man. Okay. So come back next time for our review of season 3, episode 4, The White Room, which sounds intriguing because it makes me think of Eric Clapton, or more
Yes.
specifically, Derek and the Dominoes. We'll see
Yes.
what that is.
Oh.
Maybe we'll finally see what Steve Martin is doing in that room with fish everywhere
I
from
know.
the trailer.
It looks good. And for feedback, you can email us at perfectlymarvelouspodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at perfectlymarvelouscast, or you can join our Only Perfectly Marvelous Murders in the Building Facebook group. Do all the things.
Yay.
Talk to us in all the places. My love, my dear, I've had such a marvelous time talking with you tonight. Thank you, my dear listeners, for joining us.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Jade.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.